How we doing, people? Jordan here, back in the rock vault for another killer story time about the last time that I met one of my favorite bands of all time, Winger. Now, Winger came to town back in June of this year, 2024, which I know is a very long time ago, and I am slacking real hard on getting this video out, but I'm here, we're doing it right now, and whatever. So Winger comes to town back on June 2nd, I believe, down at District 142 in Wyandotte, Michigan. One of my favorite venues to see, some of my favorite bands at. And they've put on a lot of great shows this year and last year as well. But Winger came to town, and I went with my buddy John, and, we got a little tight-knit Winger family going on. There's a lot of diehard Winger fans out there that go to like all of their shows anywhere they play. And so a bunch of us got there at noon, which is crazy because doors don't open till like 6:37. So we sat outside in lawn chairs for like 7 hours and just shot the shit, got to know some people, met some cool new people, networked. It was awesome. And then, as you know, I am a front row guy. So, me and my buddy John were like the first two people in the venue, and we had our pick of front row center, you guessed it, which I filmed the full show. It's been up on my YouTube since June, so if you guys want to go check out some front row Winger footage, I will link that at the end of the video or in the description. Badass show, dude. Winger always brings it. Always brings it. Unfortunately, this time they had Howie Simon with them instead of John Roth. Full original lineup, plus that piece of shit. And they brought it. They really brought it. They always bring it. Winger's one of those bands that just have such a kick-ass, tight chemistry on stage. So, that's just that. I didn't do the meet and greet this time. I did 2 meet and greets last year, and I would say they were worth it. I got a lot of really cool stuff signed, but this year I didn't. However, after the show, we were lucky enough that pretty much the whole band came out and took pictures and signed stuff, and they were so cool. Just the coolest. Paul Taylor came out first, and he mingled with some people. I got a picture with him, and we got to talk to him for a little bit, and then he went back inside, and pretty much how it was laid out behind the venue, they brought their van up to put all their luggage in. I guess they were flying straight from this show overseas to do some European dates or something like that. I think that's what it was. It's a long time ago. But I think they were flying straight out after the show. So, they're telling us, security's telling us, their crew's telling us, they're not going to come out. They got to go overseas. They're flying right after this. They're not going to want to come out. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm still going to stand here just in case. You never know, right? I'm sure a lot of us have missed some pretty cool opportunities by giving it up, throwing the towel in too early. So one of their crew guys came out that I happen to know, and, we got talking, and, my buddy and I were joking around with him and, making him laugh. And then he went back inside, and all of a sudden, I don't want to say for sure that it was us, but I'm pretty certain that us buttering this guy up brought this whole thing to happen, because next thing you know, Kip comes outside and they're like, all right, we've got this amount of time to like do this, pictures, autographs now, if you want them, you got to get them right now, no bullshit. So like Rod Morgenstein comes out, and he's the last guy that I needed to sign like a stack of my stuff. I felt bad, but it was like, he's the last guy, I gotta get him. Super cool, signed everything, talked to us. Then we went over to Kip. It was like Kip came out, and he was coming straight towards my buddy and I. And we went to go talk to him and engage, in conversation. And these fucking ladies jumped in front of us, and he fucking yelled at them. He's like, one at a time. Obviously he doesn't want people bombarding him. He's not an asshole. He's a really cool guy. So I'm not saying that. Just when things like this happen, you have to be respectful and respect the other people around you that are also trying to, get pictures and autographs and meet their heroes. So, for us, him coming towards us and us trying to go towards him and then getting cut in front of was pretty shitty. And he said something which made us feel really cool. So as soon as they got the fuck out of the way, we got our pictures and stuff, and he was super cool to us. And then Reb Beach came out. Reb Beach was the last guy that came out. And Reb Beach is always, so personable, and he's a funny guy. He's always saying funny stuff, and joking around with people. So, he was super cool. When I went to go take my picture, he asked me if he's like, hey, I remember seeing you in the front row. And I was like, yeah, I know. I'm front row at like every show you guys, do in Michigan. So, it was pretty cool to like, for him to recognize seeing me in the crowd, and, knowing that I'm not like an autograph hound where, I'm coming to get shit signed just to sell it. Like, he knows that I'm there at the shows, enjoying the shows, and, trying to meet him after the show. So that's pretty cool. Very cool to get recognized for that. And, with that being said, there's kind of not really too much more to that. So I think now is a good time to show you guys what I got signed. Like I said, Rod Morgenstein was like the last guy I needed to sign my stuff. So I got a bunch of stuff that, was already previously signed by the other three guys, in like 2021. But that doesn't really matter. So with that being said, let's get into it. We're going to start small and work our way up towards some bigger items. So starting off right here, I have the 7-inch single for 17, signed by the full original lineup in silver. You see that? Rod, Paul, Kip, and Reb. Very, very cool. I love that classic Winger logo. It's so sharp and punchy. I love it. I love it. Next up, I have the 7-inch single for Headed for a Heartbreak, signed by the full OG lineup. I'm very particular with some of my favorite bands about, getting the full original lineups and not like replacement members. If John Roth wanted to sign this, I would let him. But something I respect a lot about him is that these meet and greets are sold and marketed as like original members only. I know that a lot of times like he will go to them, but like when you go to get your stuff signed, he doesn't just jump in and try to sign it. He just kind of, stands back, and if you ask him to, he will. And if you don't, he's just happy to be there. So I respect that a lot about John Roth, and not like fucking Howie Simon where he just wants to sign and ruin your shit. Anyways, here we have I'm sorry, that just really pissed me off when he signed my jacket. That's an old jacket. There's not that many of them. Actually, you know what? Real quick, I'll show you. I will show you. Right here, I have a vintage Winger Tour jacket. This is from 1989. It is Too Tough to Tame. And I had it signed by everybody. When I went to get it signed, Kip asked if I wanted it signed. I said, yeah, that would be awesome. He said, all right, turn around. So I had it on, and so I had my back turned, and the four guys went to sign it. And right before I went to walk away, this motherfucker right here just jumped in and scribbled on it. Like, look at that. Look at how nice these are. And then what the hell is that? It's ugly, and I hate it. I hate it, and that was disrespectful. It was disrespectful. I asked only original members to sign all of my records that I brought, and he stood there and watched the other guys do it. And then when they asked if I wanted this signed, he just jumped in and did it without asking. That's disrespectful, and I'm really mad about that. But I have to put it past me. It happened. There's nothing I can do about it, but I won't ever let it happen again, because if he tries to, I'll fucking say something. Anyways, all right, now, after the show, I was lucky enough to get a set list. The set list, as you can see, pretty stacked. Got a nice mix of, you know, the newest album, 7, going all the way back to the first album. I like that they have Pull Me Under from Karma. Great record. I wish they had a little more from, you know, Winger 4 and Better Days Coming. Both I thought were great albums, but that's all right. We got Down Incognito, Junkyard Dog off of Pull. Arguably my favorite Winger record. That album is so heavy, and it just kicks ass. So much ass. They just performed earlier this year. They just did the full album in its entirety, and I missed it. I was very upset about that, but that's okay. Next up, I have a Winger promo flat that I got the back of signed by all 4 OG guys. Now, this was super special to me because, like I said earlier, I didn't do the meet and greet this time. And so I only really needed Rod to sign my stuff, but a good friend of mine, Mindy, was doing the meet and greet, and she only really brought one thing. And so the last time I did a meet and greet there, she asked me if I could take something back, and I did. I got it. I got her copy of 7 signed by the band for her, and so I pulled a favor and I asked her if she'd be willing to take this with her, and she did. And look at how cool this is. This is so old school looking. I love it. I love it so much. Mindy, thank you so much. I love you. You're awesome for this. I will never forget this. Next up right here, I have the second album, In the Heart of the Young. An OG copy, by the way. None of that repressed bullshit that looks like ass. We got this fully signed in silver by the OG lineup. I got this signed last year in blue, which I have a full video of like all of my signed Winger stuff, which I'll put at the end of this video as well, so you guys can check it out. But I needed one in silver. This is a beautiful copy. I had the debut signed in silver as well, but I gifted it to my buddy John because he didn't have it. So I hope he appreciates that. Hell yeah. Now, last but not least, as far as signed albums and things I got from this show, I have a copy of Pull signed in silver by everybody. I would have got John Roth to sign it, but he wasn't there, which I wish he was, but that's okay. I got it signed by the full original lineup. I know Paul really wasn't like on this album, but that's all right. Very, very cool. And this is my favorite Winger record. I love it so much. Hell yeah. Real quick, I'll show you guys the other ones I have. All right, so here I have Winger's Pull, signed in the orange. I have In the Heart of the Young, signed in this beautiful blue. And I've got the debut album signed in this beautiful, beautiful green by the full original lineup. God, it looks so cool. I'm glad I decided to do this. This is so cool looking. Winger's coming to town next year with Firehouse. Tickets are really expensive, which I don't understand, but they're at a venue that I've never been before in Flint, Michigan. So I'm going to try to go to that. I don't need to be up front for this one. Front row for this show is like hundreds of dollars, which makes no sense. But I'll try to just be there. I'll try to do the meet and greet and get, the last of my posters and stuff signed. But that's not your guys' problem. That's mine. So with that being said, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening to me bitch as well. Sometimes I just got to get a little bit of that out because, it frustrates me. And I actually do know that there are other people out there that don't like that person as well. So, us relating to each other about this thing. If you liked what you saw, like, comment, subscribe, connect with me. Tell me your Winger stories. If you got cool Winger stuff, tell me about it in the comments or connect with me on social media and send me pictures because I like seeing cool stuff. So, thank you guys for being here. And as always, I will see you on the next one.